Today, we're counting down the best mythical beings from ancient Greek legends. From one-eyed giants to maidens turned into hideous creatures, here are the top 10 creatures in Greek mythology. Number 10. Cyclops. Cyclops were tall, towering beings that had incredible strength and a single enormous eye in the center of their heads. The most famous Cyclops is Polyphemus, who resides on a distant island and happens to be the son of Poseidon, the god of the sea. He's not exactly known for his hospitality, as he tried to make a snack out of Odysseus and his crew. But fortunately, Odysseus poked Polyphemus's eye out, blinding him and giving him enough time to escape. It is said that there were 3 important Cyclops brothers who played a significant role in the might of the king of the gods, Zeus. Their names were Brontes, Starapus, and Argus, and they were renowned craftsmen. They were tasked with creating a sacred weapon for Zeus, and so they forged his mighty thunderbolts. Number 9. Harpies. The name Harpy comes from the Greek word harpia, which means snatchers, and that's exactly what they were known for. Harpies were often depicted as having the bodies of women, and the wings and razor-sharp talons of birds. One of the most famous encounters with Harpies was in the epic poem, the Argonautica, where they tormented the blind seer Phineus by stealing his food every day. The Argonauts had to step in to deal with these literal harpies. In ancient Greece, when someone mysteriously vanished, it was believed that the Harpies had spirited them away to the underworld. Number 8. Centaurs. At number 8, we venture into the realm of the centaurs, creatures that blur the line between man and beast. They had the upper torso of a human, and the powerful lower body of a horse. Chiron, in particular, was a standout among centaurs. He was a wise and noble teacher, known for imparting his wisdom to famous heroes like Achilles and Jason. But don't be fooled, not all centaurs were as honorable. Many were known for their savagery and aggressive abductions. One example of this in Greek mythology was at King Perithu's wedding, where he invited centaurs to the party, but they got drunk and carried off his bride and other unsuspecting women. The centaurs were seen as a dangerous blend of humanity and the untamed spirit of the horse. Number 7. Chimira. Brace yourselves, because at number 7 we confront the Chimira, a nightmarish fusion of fierce beasts. It had the roaring head and gnashing teeth of a lion, with the body and head of a goat on its back, with a writhing serpent as a tail. The goat's head had fiery breath that could reduce cities to ashes. It was a real force of nature, leaving nothing but scorched earth in its wake. Legends tell of its relentless rampage, terrorizing villages and striking fear into the hearts of mortals. It took the demigod and son of Poseidon, Bellerophon, to defeat the Chimera, eventually slaying the beast using his winged horse, who we'll hear more of later. Number 6. The Gorgons. The Gorgons were 3 vicious sisters who had venomous snakes in place of hair, with the ability to petrify onlookers into stone. The 3 sisters were the immortals Steno and Euryale, and the most famous of the trio, the younger, mortal Medusa. Medusa's story begins with a tragic twist. In one version of her tale, she was a beautiful priestess in the temple of Athena. However, her beauty attracted the wrong attention. She caught the eye of Poseidon, the god of the sea, who attacked her in the sanctity of Athena's temple. Rather than punishing Poseidon, Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war, chose to transform the once beautiful Medusa into a hideous Gorgon. With the power to turn men to stone, Medusa was forever changed, her beauty concealed behind a terrifying exterior. Number 5. The Minotaur. At number 5, we have another animal-human hybrid, the mighty Minotaur. This brutish beast is half man, half bull, and has an appetite for wanton destruction. King Minos, with the help of the divine bull sent by Poseidon, claimed the throne of Crete from his brothers. But in a twist of fate, Minos' wife, Queen Pasiphae, fell under a curse that caused her to fall in love with the bull. The result of this unsavory union was the Minotaur, a monstrous being with the body of a man and the head of a bull. King Minos, in an attempt to hide his shame, ordered the construction of the labyrinth, an elaborate maze where the Minotaur was imprisoned. But the labyrinth's purpose went far beyond concealment. It became a sinister stage for a gruesome annual event, the sacrifice of Athenian youths sent as tributes to King Minos. Enter the hero Theseus, who, with the help of Minos' daughter, Ariadne, and her thread, managed to navigate the labyrinth and slay the beastly Minotaur. Number 4. Pegasus. Flying in at number 4 is Pegasus, the winged horse of Greek mythology. This majestic creature sprang forth from the blood of Medusa's head when she was slain by the hero Perseus. A beautiful stallion with snow-white wings that allow it to soar gracefully through the skies, Pegasus became the trusty steed of the hero Bellerophon after he was gifted the flying horse by the goddess Athena. The most famous tale of Pegasus and Bellerophon was in the slaying of the previously discussed Chimira. Eventually, Bellerophon would become cocky with his victories and even used Pegasus to throw a queen into the sea. He then tried to use Pegasus to fly to Mount Olympus to live amongst the gods, but the noble and principled Pegasus didn't deem him worthy of living there after his cruelty and arrogance and bucked him off his back, crippling him for the rest of his life. Number 3. The Hydra. In Greek mythology, the Hydra was no ordinary monster. It was a multi-headed serpent, and the more heads you chopped off, the more it sprouted new ones. The Hydra's lair was the treacherous Lernaean swamp, where it terrorized the land. Its poisonous breath was deadly, and its venom could melt through armor like butter. As part of his 12 labors, Heracles was tasked with slaying the Hydra. Narrowly avoiding the Hydra's deadly venom, he managed to chop off its heads, but in each of their places, it regenerated 2 new ones. Luckily, Heracles had his nephew, Iolaus, by his side. They came up with a clever solution. Heracles would cut off the heads, while Iolaus seared the neck stumps with a burning torch, preventing new heads from growing. Eventually, Heracles emerged victorious, having defeated the Hydra against all odds. Number 2. Skilla. At number 2, we dive into the chilling waters of Skilla, a creature that's the stuff of seafarers' nightmares. Skilla was a monstrous sea creature that dwelled in the treacherous waters between Italy and Sicily. She was a being of pure terror, with the body of a beautiful maiden, but with 12 serpents' heads, with 3 rows of teeth as legs, and 6 gnashing heads of dogs at her waist. Sailors who dared to venture into her territory knew that they weren't likely to come back alive. But what made Skilla even more terrifying was her location. She lived on one side of the narrow strait opposite Charybdis, another fearsome sea monster that created a deadly whirlpool. One of the most famous encounters with Skilla was during the epic journey of Odysseus. As his ship passed through the strait, Skilla snatched 6 of his crew members with each of her heads and ate them alive. Number 1. Cerberus. At number 1, we unveil the ultimate guardian of the underworld, Cerberus. This 3-headed hound is the embodiment of all things mythological and formidable. Cerberus was often referred to as the Hound of Hades, due to his owner being the Greek god of the dead. That fact alone should tell you the might and importance that Cerberus has. According to the myths, Cerberus was tasked with preventing the living from entering the realm of the dead and ensuring that the departed souls remained there. It took the superhuman strength of one of the most famous demigods in all of mythology to fully subdue Cerberus. As his final and most difficult labor, Heracles had to wrestle the terrifying hound and drag him back out of the underworld and into the world of the living. From tall towering creatures like the Cyclops to the gnashing heads of Cerberus, Greek mythology had incredible creatures and monsters. Did we miss any of your favorites? Let us know below.